I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor here at Gold Derby with RuPaul's Drag Race casting directors Ethan Petersen and Goloka Bolte. Both of you gatekeepers for the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent that makes this show so amazing. And you just received your 7th consecutive Emmy nomination for the show. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. I always pinch myself when we get nominated. It's such an honor to be nominated. So it's, it's true.
That sounds like a cliche, but it's not, because every year you could think maybe this is the year that we miss. We've been on a great run, and this year you get to share it with Adam Cook and Michelle Redwine, which is even more special. You're bringing more people into the crew. So dumb question, I suppose, but I want to see what you have to say, Goloka. Does this ever get old?
Never. Literally never. I don't know if you mean casting Drag Race or you mean the Emmy nominations, but the answer to both is never. It never gets old.
Good.
It's we're excited every single year to start casting the show, and honestly to see the show get so much recognition year after year is like it's so incredible. It's so rewarding. So much love and passion goes into every step of producing the show, from where we start in casting, from the work the queens do, making their audition tapes and getting themselves there, to producing the show, like everything. It's such a labor of love. So, any chance to kind of celebrate all the hard work that goes into it and all the people along the way is incredible and will never, ever, ever get old.
I like that. You guys won in 2020 and 2021. For season 12 and season 13. And I bring that up because season 13 is my personal favorite season. Not that I don't like the other ones, but I just love season 13 so much. And then I figure that every season has to live up to the previous seasons. And I'm just wondering, Ethan, that when you get to season 15, do you ever get caught up in the pressure to up the ante or to match or exceed the chemistry that previous cast brought to the show? Or do you just try to block that out?
Honestly, it's one of those things where the beauty of RuPaul's Drag Race is the show kind of reinvents itself every season because drag is evolving. And so every season's it's so different. So it's not a matter of us one-upping it, it's the queens do it. And when they start sending in their tapes and we see what they've done, it's the world of drag in the United States. And it's a natural evolution, which is so beautiful about the show. And that's truly why I do think RuPaul's Drag Race is such a big success year after year, because every season is so different because the queens are always so different.
That's so true. We never know what we're going to expect. And that's actually part of the allure when a new season starts. We're currently in the middle of Down Under, Drag Race Down Under, which is just, so we're always waiting to see what are these queens going to throw up at this time so we can watch. So I've got a question about Sasha Colby, the winner. And this is for both of you, I suppose. She's a really well-known superstar drag queen in her own right. Did she audition like everybody else? And was there ever any doubt that she might not be right for the show? And then why did it take so long to bring her on board?
She went through the audition process that everyone else did. Everybody goes through the process and makes, the sort of famous audition tape for it. And honestly, she went all out and she put a ton of effort into it and made a really great tape, like the consummate professional that she is. And, it's really exciting on the show to see queens like Sasha, who are these sort of icons in the community, but competing against a queen who might have come up in their bedroom doing TikTok. And, that's part of like the magic of Drag Race, is sort of having all these different elements and all these different backgrounds and kind of talents all put together to kind of create this alchemy of personality and skills and everything.
Yeah, Ethan, what was going through your mind when you first watched her audition tape and thought, well...
It's funny, at DragCon, I talked to her about it. And when the tape came in, I watched it and I literally went, holy poop emoji, because it was just, the level of it was so high, as it should, because she's a drag icon. And we were pleasantly happy when her tape came in. So, and I'm so pleased that she won. I think she's a perfect representation for especially what our country needs right now. And she deserves it. Bottom line, she deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, this is just,
Yeah.
if it's even possible, it's elevated her star power even more, which is what this show does and has done for so many artists over the years that have become huge success stories because of the show. Let's talk about a couple of the other contestants. Talk me through deciding to cast the show's first biological siblings, Sugar and Spice. Was that an easy decision? How did that come about?
I absolutely love the twins. I kind of had my eye on them for a while. I'd actually tried to cast them on something else. But they were like waiting for season 15 to apply for Drag Race. And, I kind of like gave the same advice that I would to anyone that I've said on any of these panels, is that you have to work on the full body illusion. You have to work on your characters. You have to work on being able to perform, being able to do your own makeup, really create like exciting looks and do all of that. And, it's because some of what's on Instagram and what's on TikTok, it's not the full sort of experience and the full range of talent and skills that our queens need to have to perform. And, they kind of, they took it to heart and they worked and they made great tapes and they were so much fun to watch on the show. And, it was kind of a no-brainer seeing them come in. Their chemistry together also is hilarious in the way they play off of each other. So, I couldn't really imagine splitting them up.
And to see them compete on the show against someone like a Sasha Colby, keep in mind, like they didn't really perform in a drag bar before. And then here they are competing up against, a drag icon. And that's what I really think made season 15 so special and unique, that you had, top tier talent with not beginner talent, but I call it, TikTok talent. It's different. And they went head to head. And honestly, I mean, we all know this. Any queen that gets on RuPaul's Drag Race wins. And the fact that, those who got on the show, they won, and they're doing great now. They're performing in lots of bars and making money. So which is exciting.
Making money doing what they're passionate about and what they're good at. And also, like, it's always heartbreaking when you see those queens that are eliminated very early on in the show and they're asked to sashay away in episode 1 and 2, but they're at least on the show and people know them. And, they still, I've been to a drag con and I've seen those queens that don't have the same profile, but they've still got thousands of fans lining up to get their autograph. So that's great.
100%.
Hold on. You said the first queen to get eliminated. Let's not forget Vanjie, the Vanjie effect.
Right.
I mean, hello. So it's anything could happen with these queens.
I want you to admit, sometimes when you're walking out the door, do you turn around and say, Miss Vanjie? Because we sometimes do. Vanjie. Iconic.
It really is true, though. Just getting on the show is already a win. I mean, they are like these, like, triple threat isn't even like enough to describe what the queens are. They're so good at so many things, and just to have made it on the cast and gotten that far is a huge win for them. And they sort of have that on their resume and have a following and sometimes get to be part of the tour and all of that. So much happens from it, and it's we know all the work that went into it. Like I never want anyone to be eliminated. Like I wish everyone could just stay through the whole show. I would be a terrible producer. I couldn't send anyone home. Totally.
I would be the worst because I just like double shot.
Yeah.
Let's do
I'm like, it's fine, Shantae, you all stay.
You all stay. Actually, that's a really good point, because some of the queens have varying levels of experience in dance, in sewing. Some are comedy queens, some are pageant queens. So how do you approach the mix of contestants so that all facets of drag culture are covered?
Take it.
Oh, no, I was saying, like, diversity is huge for us. So we're looking for diversity on a ton of different levels, right? We want ethnic diversity, geographic diversity, but then we have, we want queens that have different styles that we haven't seen before, different personality types, who come from different backgrounds, have different accents, different gender identities, different body shapes. So we're literally weighing all of that in, and it is an alchemy. It is putting together, like a little puzzle piece, and it's why, like, I think we always say to queens, if you didn't get on this season, it's not your time yet. It doesn't mean that you're not amazing. It's, we're putting together this puzzle piece, and we want to represent a little bit of everything and make sure that we're putting together a cast that is really like feels inclusive and represents the drag community as a whole. So, it's tricky. It's tricky though.
Another thing that we look for too, it's vulnerability, confidence. It's people that are going to represent, the drag community well on a platform like this. It's like people that have a story to share, people that have overcome obstacles and have no problem talking about it to the world. The scale of RuPaul's Drag Race now is so big to where by going on our show, they're telling their story to the world. And we have to make sure that they're confident enough to do that. Is also RuPaul's Drag Race, being on the show, it's like you're in a pressure cooker and it gets very tough. They have to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. We have to also make sure that they're ready for that. So it's the looks, it's the lip syncing, it's all that stuff on top of those other characteristics that are so important for a show of this size.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah.
I was going to say, as the show has grown so much. I mean, we've been part of the Drag Race family for like a little over 10 years now. We've grown along with it, and, it's become such a cultural phenomenon, and we really have to think about how this person is going to represent the show afterwards, because they have a global platform, and we want people who are going to use their voice for good and really sort of embody that message of love and inclusivity that the show has. So that's something really important to look at as well. We want somebody who's going to be able to speak on that and represent that after filming ends.
Yeah, obviously the show is very fun, funny, colorful, sassy, glittery, but a lot of what underpins it and what brings the fans in is its message about inclusivity, acceptance, and also in this really perilous time that we're all living in, where certain marginalized communities are being targeted. And so what this show did over season 15 with, with Luxx was so special. I wonder if either of you, I'll go to you first, Ethan. Do you ever get caught up in the emotion? I remember when I spoke to John Sarge Schneider, he called the queens superstars or superheroes, actually, because you guys get really caught up in their emotional journey, don't you?
With everything going on in our country, RuPaul said it best, that these are the Marines. They are the Marines for, our community. And when news first broke, I got emotional, because the fact of the matter is, I've watched tens of thousands of videos from, all different types of drag, all different types of people. And the main through line is drag saved their life. Drag gave them confidence. Drag's done all these things to help them. And when you hear about people saying that drag is not an art form and that it should be illegal, yeah, it crushed me. But at the same time, it did ignite a fire in me to just fight more and speak up and, and embrace this community even more. Because bottom line is, drag is art, drag is love. Like and that's what it is. And I think Goloka and myself and Adam and Michelle, the four of us, we know, because we watch tons of videos. And so it's, yeah, I do get emotional about it. And I'm sure things will change. I pray that they do. And if, they will.
Mm-hmm.
They will. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, like, I think that this, like, all of this sort of like anti-drag rhetoric that has gone around, it's a sobering reminder that we can't take all the hard-earned LGBTQ rights and visibility for granted. We still have to keep fighting. We still have to use our voices, and we can't just post on Instagram and talk to people about it. Like, we need to donate great organization to great organizations like the ACLU, because a lot of these things are fought in court. And like, most of all, like, register to vote. It's free, and it's one of the best ways you can help the drag community and the trans community, and really be an advocate and an ally, and make sure that we're not sliding back into the dark ages. No. So, and we're so connected. Like Ethan said before, we have seen tens of thousands of videos, and we know what drag means to so many people, not just to the people who get on the show and the people who perform in drag, but also to like young kids who are watching it, people who are so hopeful and they feel like they can kind of get through their own problems and struggles and get to the other side and find success and happiness and joy, because that's what a show like RuPaul's Drag Race shows them. So we have to fight. We can't stop.
That's right. And every time you hear about, someone who's committed some crime, it's always like, well, I just wanted to point out that wasn't a drag queen. And also don't boo, vote. So I think that message at the show, using that platform, so important. But at the end of the day, final question, there are so many joyous moments from this show over the years, and season 15 really delivered. I've got my own special moment that we always talk about in this family. I'm wondering from each of you, and it's up to you guys who wants to go first. What was your number one moment from season 15 that you'll always remember?
Ooh.
Well, I will say
it's
that
hard picking one, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
look, for being the casting director of the show, I always love seeing their first workroom entrance, because when we watch the tapes, we're seeing them as they are, but when they come in the workroom, they're lit, they have an amazing look, they're excited, and just to see what they do, that always brings joy to watch that. And obviously Wig Loose, because of just what it stands for in these crazy times that we're in.
Yeah. I was gonna say Wig Loose was definitely a standout moment for me. Like, it kind of gave me chills in the moment watching it, and to see sort of the show make such a beautiful, like, a statement about what's going on, but in such an amazing kind of creative way. I think it was really special. And but yeah, it is. It's funny what Ethan said about watching people walk into the workroom, because we've seen them go through the journey. It might have been their first year applying, or it might have been their 10th year applying, but like, that's the moment when it's like solidified that they're on the show, and their like full Drag Race journey has begun. And it's only up from there. So it's so exciting and gratifying to watch, and because we know, and not all of it might even make it on the show, but we've seen the tapes. Sometimes we've seen multiple tapes. Like, we know what they've gone through, year to year, sometimes even to get where they are today. And we know how much hard work went into getting them there. So it's emotional to see it. It's emotional to watch. And then, and then obviously even getting to the point where you see who gets to the finale, and then who wins. I mean, it's all, I think all of it is amazing. I hate choosing, but yeah, those are some of them.
That must mean so much to you both. And I agree. You could sit down and just watch a whole bunch of entrances in the workroom, and it really does light the day. And I must say, my favorite moment was Anetra walking that effing duck. That one blew me away.
This was a very memeable season. There were a lot of like comedic through lines that going through.
And you
the
guys
duck, the eras.
And you saw.
Wait, hold on. Free Willy. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I may be slightly biased, but like the season 15 queens were funny AF. Like, I had so much fun watching it.
Same, I totally agree. Thank you both so much for your time today. Congratulations on your Emmy nominations, and I hope you win.
Thank you.